Yeah, no, we're good to go, and we're big wrestling fans. We get a lot of different wrestlers that come in here, but AEW is one of my favorite because you get so many of the stars that are doing some crazy stuff right now, and obviously, to be the founder of AEW and to see it rise to the level where it is right now, you got to be pretty pleased.
No, I really am. I really am. I'm very excited. It's really great to be able to do the show with you guys, too. I'm a big fan of you, Rob.
Thank you.
And so it's really cool.
So Saturday, Springfield, Massachusetts, AEW Collision takes over Mass. It is the 12th. It's going to be on TNT as well, but we want you to go to the Mass Mutual Center. You can get tickets at AEWTix.com. Speaking of that, before we get into some of the wrestling, I do know you have the analytic background, and Dibble, he rages against these baseball analytics. Are you the one who came up with this? Are you the one we should be mad at in the world of baseball as far as these analytics?
Did you invent war?
I'm one of the people. I definitely am not an inventor of everything, but I am one of the people who is involved in baseball analytics. I'm the owner and chairman of True Media Networks, which is based in Boston, actually.
Yep.
And True Media Networks provides analytics engineering support to most of the Major League Baseball teams and ESPN, The Athletic, and a lot of great media partners, but most of the Major League teams. And I definitely do believe in that. I think there's a lot. I mean, it's made a lot of positive contributions, and I think it's worked, and that's why a lot of people are doing it. But no, I understand where you're coming from, Rob.
No. He's pulling your leg. I coach 16U, and I'm totally down with the analytics and the. I actually, though, I did take hit tracks out of my batting cage because they thought it was a video game, and so there's analytics is great. Cool? But Rapsodo and some of the other stuff, they get too tied up in it, and they can't unleash their inner baseball players. So, but as far as a lot of that stuff, I mean, listen, I love Bill James, I love the whole Moneyball thing, but at the end of the day, I try to teach these kids, listen, your job as a freshman high school player is to take a varsity job someday. As a high schooler, your job is to go to college and take somebody's job. I try to simplify it. That they have to work hard. And in the AEW business, working hard is the only way you become a professional wrestler. I mean, everybody thinks it's like grabbing a mic and having a shtick and stuff like that. I watch like the lower level. I'm so old, and we're talking to Tony Khan. He's the founder of AEW. I was in Lakeland, Florida. I went to school there the year before, and I'm down there in the Florida State League. And right next to the Joker Marchant Stadium is where the wrestlers would wrestle. And this was like, before the big time and the WWE back in the day, or WWF. You had Haystacks Calhoun. You had Sergeant Slaughter. You had all of these guys that were down there. And they were hitting the minor leagues as hard as I was on the baseball side.
Absolutely. Well, I remember, obviously, I grew up watching you play. I'm a big baseball fan. And I think first of all, talking analytics and video, I think everything in sports is marrying up analytics and video because it's all the same stuff, right? What's happening on the tape, make it make sense and make it for the player, the coach, for everybody. And so I think that's important. And then back to pro wrestling, it's great to be able to talk wrestling with you, Rob. I grew up as a big wrestling fan, too. And one of the things I love about AEW is we've been able to bring wrestling back to TBS and TNT. For a lot of years, there was no wrestling on TBS and TNT. For over 20 years, there was no wrestling on TBS. And now we do wrestling every Wednesday on TBS. We just had a great show last night. It was a tremendous event in Baltimore, and now we're coming up there to Springfield Saturday. And I'm really excited because our Saturday shows on TNT, AEW Collision, it's been on a great, great run. We've seen great growth in the show this year, and we've had some of our best episodes ever, and this is going to be a great, great event. One of the legendary wrestlers, talking about some of the old-school wrestling, is the late, great Owen Hart. Yep. And we're in Owen Hart season. Everyone's got their brackets out, and it's Owen Hart bracket season for us, our own March Mania. And so it's very cool to have the Owen Hart Foundation tournament and some of the best wrestlers in the world, women and men, competing for shots at the world title at AEW All In, which is actually at Globe Life Field in July at the Texas Rangers ballpark on July 12th. And that's going to be a huge event. And the world title shots are in play. And there's going to be 3 matches in the tournament coming up in Springfield this Saturday. So I would strongly recommend, please come out. It's going to be a great event there in Springfield on Saturday. And if you can't make it to the arena, check it out on TNT. And now also, we can live stream the show on Max. We're simulcasting, streaming. And as you guys know firsthand, the media landscape has really changed in recent years. Streaming's become such an important part of the profile. And for us, we've been doing wrestling now for over 5 years on TNT and TBS. And now we're on Max also. So that's really huge for AEW, and we've been outperforming a lot of the other sports. So for us, as a challenger pro wrestling league with, I believe, the best roster of wrestlers in the world, being the place where the best wrestle, I think AEW's had great growth, and I think it's going to be a great show there on Saturday.
AEWTIX.com, where you can get tickets for the Mass Mutual Center up there in Springfield, AEW Collision. All right, Tony Khan, answer this one, man. I've always heard from AEW fans, wrestling fans. We got a lot of young guys on our staff that are bonkers about it. My sister, who is 45 years old, bonkers about it. And I've seen this quote in articles when you guys started and then even today. The quote, and everybody keeps saying to me, AEW is changing how everyone does it. And that's like just such a blanket kind of statement that I've heard when you guys were coming in, when Chris Jericho really kind of took over there. Everyone kept saying, like, AEW is changing how wrestling is being presented. What do they mean by that? What is the answer to that?
We started a revolution in 2019, and I think AEW, when we launched, it was a real alternative in pro wrestling that people hadn't seen. And also it brought wrestling back, like I said, to TBS and TNT. Those channels have a really rich history of pro wrestling. In fact, pro wrestling on TBS goes back over 50 years. And we're really excited because Wednesday in Boston, we're coming for Spring Breakthrough. So we've got a great tour of Massachusetts here coming up Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday. Saturday, we'll be in Springfield. It's going to be a great show live on TNT. Then Wednesday, we're celebrating Spring Breakthrough. AEW is going to become the longest-running weekly primetime pro wrestling show in the history of TNT and TBS, which is saying something because there's been a lot of great wrestling shows on TNT and TBS over the years, and it's a real honor. We're going to have our 289th episode, which is the record for any wrestling company doing a primetime weekly show on TNT and TBS. So we're going to celebrate that Wednesday at the MGM Music Theater at Fenway on Wednesday, and then we have a great show also Thursday. It's Collision, just like what we've got Saturday in Springfield. So it's going to be a really great week for the fans up there, and we've got a lot to celebrate. And when you say we've changed the way it's done in wrestling, I do believe we've made a significant historical impact in the pro wrestling business and really definitely influence the wrestling landscape in a positive way, I think, where wrestling's really big right now, and AEW is a huge part of that conversation.
I know Ben and I, we've been working together for a long time. Mercedes Moné was a different name back when she came through the show years and years ago on her way up. She made her debut in March of last year on AEW. Describe, like, you know, the switching sides, so to speak, whatever, but some guys and gals turn heel, some storylines change, but she's one of our favorites. I mean, she was so nice to us. She's always been one of the nicest people around the industry.
We were afraid when, like, she came on.
Oh my God. I mean,
Mercedes is one of the very top professional wrestlers in the world.
I know.
Great wrestler and a great person, and she's got a huge match coming up, and it's all going to play out here in this next week. Like I said, we've got huge shows coming up Saturday in Springfield for AEW Collision, and then we've got AEW in Boston Wednesday and Thursday live on TNT Thursday and TBS Wednesday. And Mercedes is a huge part of this. She's the TBS champion right now, and she's competing for a world title shot. Mercedes holds a large percentage of the titles in women's wrestling right now around the world. She's an international super wrestler. She's achieved something really, really special. She's one of the all-time greats already, and now she's trying to become the AEW world champion. But there's a lot of great competition in her way, and she's going to have a great match next week. There's going to be a match this Saturday in Springfield to find out who wrestles Mercedes in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Cup tournament. And it's going to be a great, great match. I'm really excited. This Saturday, Harley Cameron, the Australian star who has just taken over social media and AEW television and become a sensation and gotten the fans behind her, has become a real rival to Mercedes. They had a great match at AEW Grand Slam Australia in Brisbane in February, which was one of our most successful and best shows ever. And Harley came very close to beating Mercedes, but Mercedes escaped with the TBS title and her undefeated streak. Nobody's ever pinned Mercedes ever in AEW. And it's going to be a great opportunity for Harley to get a rematch, but she's stepping in with one of the best wrestlers in the world, a world champion herself, the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, Athena. And Athena badly wants a crack at Mercedes, and the fans would also, I believe, love to see that match, as well as Harley getting a rematch against Mercedes. So they're both great options. It's going to be a great match Saturday. Harley Cameron versus Athena in the quarterfinals of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup. And the winner gets the shot at Mercedes Moné and the shot in the semifinals and a shot to go to the finals to get a shot at the AEW World title at AEW All In. So there's a lot of great things in play in the tournament right now. Going into Springfield, and Mercedes is a huge part of that tournament next week in Boston. And big implications Saturday in Springfield.
You got so much going on, man. In your big picture, you're thinking about networks, you're thinking about, TV time, you're thinking about so many big things when it comes to AEW, but you still need stars. And for you and for the business to be successful, you need to promote those stars properly. For you, are you a part of picking out wrestlers? Are you a part of deciding whether or not this is a good one, this is a bad one, this needs a better title shot? Do you have any influence there, or are you hands-off in that regard?
No, I'm the matchmaker. I think I'm the most hands-on person in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a great team of people I work with, but no, that's a aspect of the wrestling business I'm incredibly hands-on with.
So what do you know? What are some of the tips and tricks of the trade as far as being a scout, basically? You're a talent scout more than anything.
Well, I think it's, being a matchmaker and also assembling a great roster as a GM. You want to have the best roster of wrestlers, which I believe with AEW, we have the best roster. AEW is where the best wrestle. I also acquired a great promotion with over 20 years of history, Ring of Honor, which has great champions, great championships, and a legacy that also is something I want to keep alive. And for AEW, primarily for something that we've been able to build and get this great support, I believe AEW, we have the best roster, and we have a lot of great wrestlers, and now we have 4 hours of TV across Wednesdays on TBS, Saturdays on TNT, both shows live stream on Max, and we have to put great shows out. It's a 52-week-a-year business, and there's nothing like it. It's a nonstop grind, and it's truly very special, and there's nothing like pro wrestling, and the people who really love it, I find so often if they get away from it for a little bit, they come back to it. I've never gotten away from it very long. There was maybe when I was 11, playing a lot of sports and getting caught up and starting to grow up. There was maybe a couple months, and honestly, wrestling in 94 and 95 was pretty rough. So when I was 11 and 12, maybe there were a couple months where I didn't watch any. But generally, since I was 7, I've never gotten away from it for more than a few weeks at a time, and now I can't get away from it for more than an hour or two at a time. So I truly do love it, and I really love the wrestling business, and we have a great group of wrestlers, and I have a great group of people around me that are very involved in scouting wrestlers. So there's a lot of great people in the AEW office. Many of them are wrestlers themselves or have wrestled who have great eye for it and a great mind. So, we have a great team there, too, in the backstage.
Tony, great having you on. Next time, let's just have you on to talk baseball. Analytics.
Oh, geez, that'd be great.
All right.
Yeah, it was good. We could do a whole week. I'll do football.
There you go.
Baseball.
Dude, wait, listen, you're smarter than we are. So I'm old, so I'm trying to figure this stuff out. So you can teach us a lot and teach our listeners a lot.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's good. We get the True Media working with you, Rob. We're the number one sports analytics engineering company in the world, and definitely have the most market share in the baseball business with True Media. Work with a lot of the college baseball teams in addition to most of the major league teams. Yep. And we're based in Boston, and that's True Media without an E. It's TRU Media, and really growing there. So you got to come by. We have all your stats.
We'd love to.
It's a great group of guys based there in Massachusetts. It's a local company in Boston. Two great engineers and minds founded the company, and together the three of us have been able to really build it over the years, and I'm really proud of it. But I do like talking about baseball analytics, especially with you, Rob. And I grew up in Illinois, so I was 12 years old when you came to the White Sox, actually.
Wow.
And that was the end,
Good
man.
guys
That's
wear
when I
black.
had nothing left.
Yeah, good
Two
guys.
shoulder surgeries, man. I wish I had more left.
Yeah, but I grew up watching. But I also grew up watching you play for the Reds, and
Well,
I have so much
appreciate
respect for you. So thanks for having me on.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate you a lot.
Excellent.
So thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you, guys.